Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. This is a public meeting, and we do have one letting and one hearing today. So at this time, I will ask the Secretary's Assistant to please handle the letting. Shannon?
We have two bids for
Real loud.
We have two bids for 8756 reconstruction of Taxi Lane Charlie from Taxiway S to Taxiway G. Project 1 at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. The first bid is from Millstone Weber LLC. Bid amount $18,964. $18,964,945.35. That's 18,964,945.35. The second bidder, the Harper Company, $23,808,696.07. 23,806,696.07.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. We will now handle our hearing for today. Hearing number 130619-RH is being conducted pursuant to section 26.100.030 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis. The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether to revoke the conditional use permit numbered as 130619 issued for DBA Regal Market CO Kamal Manasra to occupy 5791 Thekla Avenue as a convenience store with carry out and no liquor. The parties have been notified of the violations of the conditions of this conditional use permit in writing by certified mail, along with the posted notice of today's hearing date. A hearing was held on January 31st, 2023 to address issues surrounding conditions number 2, number 6, number 10, number 11, and number 12, and number 13 of the conditional use permit. On that date, this board found that all conditions had been brought into compliance except for condition number 13, which is as follows. Condition 13, all windows and doors must have no boards, no grates, materials, mesh, or coverings of any kind. Windows and doors may have proper blinds or curtains on the inside of the windows. The hearing was continued until today. The Office of Zoning Administrator has the burden to prove the conditional use permit conditions have not been complied with. After all evidence of the zoning administrator has been presented, the board will ask for additional testimony, if any, in support of this revocation. Then the conditional use holder will be given the opportunity to present evidence. Lastly, the board will hear other testimony in opposition to the revocation, if any. Your testimony today is being recorded. When you come forward, please state your name and address and be sworn in. As you testify, please direct your comments to the board and not to those in the audience. Members of the audience are asked to remain silent and not coach the witnesses. During your testimony, members of this board may have questions for you. Following the hearing, the board will proceed with its regular agenda. Following the conclusion of the regular agenda, the board will deliberate, discuss, and vote on the hearing. The board will notify the conditional use holder of its decision by mail in about 2 weeks. In addition to the items that were entered into evidence on January 31st, 2023, the Board of Public Service has in its possession the following documents which are being introduced into evidence. Item 1, a copy of the March 7th, 2023 letter sent mail to KNN Corporation, DBA Regal Market at 28 Park Drive regarding the motion of the board on January 31st, 2023 to continue the revocation hearing on permit number 130619 for 60 days to be held on April 4th, 2023. Item 2, a copy of a March 7th, 2023 letter sent certified mail to K&N Corporation, DBA Regal Market at 5791 Thekla Avenue regarding such continuation of the hearing to April 4th, 2023. Item 3, a copy of a March 7th, 2023 letter sent certified mail to Latifia Law Firm LLC, 1750 South Brentwood Boulevard regarding such continuation of the hearing to April 4th, 2023. Item 4, a copy of a March 7th, 2023 sent letter certified mail to Forrest Issa at 1727 Coachway regarding such continuation of the hearing to April 4th, 2023. Item 5, copies of the public notices of this hearing posted in the City Journal on May 2nd, 2023, May 9th, 2023, and May 16th, 2023. Item 6, photos of the public notice posted on the property for today's hearing. Item 7, a copy of April 3rd, 2023 letter sent certified mail to Rob Latifia of the Latifia Law Firm LLC regarding the revocation hearing scheduled for today regarding violation of condition number 13. Item 8, a copy of the April 3rd, 2023 letter sent certified mail to Forrest Issa at 1727 Coachway, St. Louis, Missouri, 63042 regarding the revocation hearing scheduled for today. Item 9, a copy of an April 3rd, 2023 letter sent certified mail to K&N Corporation, DBA Regal Market, CO Kamal Manasra at 28 Park Drive, St. Louis, Missouri, 63033 regarding the revocation hearing scheduled for today. Item 10, a copy of April 3rd, 2023 letter sent certified mail to K&N Corporation, DBA Regal Market, CO Kamal Manasra at 5791 Thekla Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63120 regarding the revocation hearing scheduled for today. And item 11, a memorandum dated May 12th, 2023 from Dylan Mosier, zoning plan examiner, to the acting zoning inspector, to Mary Hart Burton, zoning administrator, finding continuing violation of condition number 13 with photos of the metal security coverings over the windows, but also noting a recommendation by the zoning staff to amend the condition to allow for the security screening covering the windows, which, if amended, would resolve any non-compliance. At this time, the board asks the representative of the Office of Zoning Administrator to please come forward and be sworn in.
I'm ready to be sworn in.
Thank you, Dylan. The testimony that you're about to give before this board, did you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Dylan Mosier, acting zoning inspector, room 400, City Hall. Good afternoon, everyone, by the way. As President Bradley just noted, I did do an investigation of the site on May 12th, so late last week. I did still continue to find condition number 13 regarding the security bars over the windows to technically be in violation. To further elaborate it just a little bit, as I believe you all know, 5791 Thekla was on last week's agenda with a recommendation to amend the conditions, specifically condition number 13, to allow them to have those security features on their windows. That was tabled, I believe, because the alderwoman had some potential concerns about signage and whether or not it was properly permitted. So I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but of course it's relevant. Both items are relevant. Application number AB 572-631-22 that was applied for all the signage on their site. That was applied for in December of 22. So actually in the middle of this ongoing revocation process that's been happening for a bit now, since August of last year, as a result of this process, actually, and that's been approved. And along with that and my investigation last week, there's no non-compliant signage. So I did find one violation technically, but if the board does choose to pick up that tabled item from last week and amend that condition, then theoretically they would be fully out of compliance, I think is what I'm trying to say. I know that's a bit of a needle to thread there, but does that all make sense? Does anyone have any questions for me?
So I think I will just ask a question to start, and then just to make sure that I completely understand. So the only condition that is currently in violation is number 13, which is screening on the doors and windows. The zoning section is recommending, suggesting that the board amend that condition to allow for that. And that would happen in our conditional use portion of this meeting, which is before we vote on this hearing. And assuming that the board would be amenable to changing that condition, well, then there would be no other violations. And then this revocation hearing could be dismissed without prejudice, correct?
Correct. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. And I'll just further elaborate that, this was all done fully in conjunction with your office and Mr. Latvia, the attorney for the business that we're talking about. And so I just want to point out that, he's been fantastic to work with. The business as a whole has done a lot to come fully in compliance with all their conditions. They've cleaned up a number of items that they were selling that they did not know that they were able to sell and stuff. They've been good about that. They pulled permits, as I just discussed, and so on and so forth, and cleaned up a number of things. So just want to illustrate all of that and express my appreciation, I suppose.
Thank you for taking the time to do the detailed analysis on that, Dylan. I would like to open the floor for any questions from any of our board members for Dylan Mosier.
Yeah, this is Greg Hayes. I think that's positive, refreshing news. So definitely appreciate the update, especially in the middle of this revocation process.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Any other questions from any of our other board members? Seeing none. Thank you, sir. At this time, if there's anyone else present who wishes to testify that noted conditions have not been complied with, please come forward and be sworn in. I don't see any hands up. I don't see anyone in the chat. If you are here to testify the conditions have not been complied with, please call your name out. Seeing no one. Let the record reflect that no one was present to support this revocation. At this time, the board asks the conditional use permit holder to please come forward and be sworn in.
Well, good afternoon. This is Rob Latvia. I'm the attorney for the conditional use permit holder.
Thank you, Rob. Would you raise your right hand for me, please?
Certainly.
Thank you. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give before this board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the board.
Yeah, it's Rob Latvia, 13321 North Outer 40 Road, Suite 800 in Town and Country, Missouri, 63017.
Okay, please go ahead and say what you would like to the board.
Well, I want to thank Mr. Moser. He's going to make my job very easy. He said everything pretty much that I had to say. Since this started sometime last fall, my client has done everything that has been asked of them, as relayed through the board and then through me, and I have to say, with the cooperation and much assistance of Mr. Moser, kind of, as a I'll just say he's been very helpful in explaining things. And so I think we're there, at least I hope we are, because my client has done a lot to make sure they're in compliance. Of course, we went through the sign permitting process in December, going into this, into this winter and spring. And then following the last hearing, which I believe was in January, we applied for the amendment to the conditional use permit, which has, we had a hearing on that, a couple weeks ago. And so again, just to reiterate, my client is certainly, eager to have this over, but more importantly, wants to be a good corporate citizen. They believe that they provide a valuable service to the community and are glad to be compliant with all the city's requirements.
So before we open the floor up for questions, I just want to say thank you for the effort to work with the city on behalf of the board from myself. We see a lot of these, and many times they are easily rectified if there's cooperation. And this is a prime example of how two entities can work together to get something accomplished if they put their mind to it. So thank you and your client for being good partners with the city. I'll open the floor up for questions from any of our board directors. Seeing none, thank you for your time. At this time, if there's anyone else present who opposes this revocation, please come forward and be sworn in. I don't see anyone. I don't see any other hands or in the chat. If you're opposing the revocation, please bring this to my attention. Seeing none, let the record reflect that no one was present at today's hearing opposing the revocation. The matter concerning hearing number 130619-RH is now closed and submitted. The board will now proceed with its regular agenda. Can you call the roll, please?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Mute button present.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Russell,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Present.
Director Williams,
Present.
President Bradley.
Present, we have a quorum. I'll call this meeting order.
Regular business from the president. Recommendation that approval be given as follows. Amendment number 3 to contract number 77255, building custodial service contract with White Maintenance Service. This third amendment hereby adds funding source for general janitorial services for the City Justice Center for the months of November 2022, January 2023, and February 2023 to extend the contract and an additional month to June 30th, 2023. The max not to exceed the amount remains the same at $4 million. From the Office of Special Events, request the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. There are 8 special events to be declared as festival zones. Number 1, City SC Block Party will take place on 20th Street between Market and Locust on May 19th and 20th from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. Setup and tear down will begin on May 17th at 8 a.m. and end on May 21st at 8 p.m. Number 2, Receiving the Torch celebration for Ronald L. Jones will take place at 2100 Fair on May 20th at 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Setup and tear down will be from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Number 3, STL Made Street Party will take place at Kena Plaza on May 23rd at 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Setup and tear down will be from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Number 4, St. Louis African Arts Festival will take place at World's Fair Pavilion in Forest Park on May 27th, 28th, and 29th at 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Setup tear down will begin on May 25th through May 29th from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Number 5, Cherokee Caravan Antique and Arts Bazaar will take place on Cherokee Street from Jefferson to Limp on May 29th at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Setup and tear down will be from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Number 6, Our Lady of Sorrows will take place at 5030 Rhodes Avenue on June 10th at 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Setup and tear down will begin on June 9th to June 11th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Number 7, Central West End Cocktail Party will take place on Euclid from McPherson to Maryland on June 10th at 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Setup and tear down will begin on June 10th and 11th at 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. Number 8, Soapbox Derby on the Hill will take place on Macklin from Columbia to Shaw on June the 11th at 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. From the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Forestry, recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 131589, request from Gateway Fireworks Display to provide a fireworks display in Forest Park on May 20th between Grand Drive and West Pine at approximately 9:50 p.m. From the Director of Streets, recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 131579, request from Union Electric doing business as Ameren, Missouri, for a pole replacement and trip saver installed in the alley south of 3614 Keokuk Street. Application number 131580, request from Union Electric doing business as Ameren, Missouri, for a pole replacement and trip saver installed in the alley behind 3708 Keokuk Street. Application number 131581, request from Union Electric doing business as Ameren, Missouri, to install a new underground conduit and cable from a manhole at Enright Avenue and Belt Avenue to a new transformer on the property at 720 Belt Avenue. From the Director of Public Safety and Utilities, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request from Mohammed Hassan to subdivide the lot at 4168 Merrimack in City Block 5625. Joint recommendation that the following be denied. Request from Almira LLC THD Design Group Incorporated to subdivide the lot at 4236 Wyoming Street back into 2 lots in City Block 4153. From the Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request from Top Golf at 3205 Shoto to remove and replace concrete sidewalk, new curb and gutter, and install 2 new concrete entrances along the north side of Shoto Avenue between Compton and South Teresa Avenue in City Block 2231. From the Director of Public Safety, there are 4 conditional use permits.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Excuse me, and members of the board. My name is Steve Narr, zoning plan examiner for the city of St. Louis, representing the building commissioner. Per order number 766, transmitted here with our recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Number 1, 3227 Morgan Ford Road, Suite B. Number 2, 4421 Ridgewood Avenue. Number 3, 3126 Watson Road. And number 4, 449 North Euclid Avenue, Suite 210.
And I would just like to add that we also are considering the tabled item for 5791 Thekla Avenue, Regal Market, is a convenience store with liquor, with carryout, no liquor, amending condition number 13 to allow windows and doors to have coverings on them as described in the hearing. With that, are there any questions for our zoning inspector? Seeing none, I will ask for a motion to approve.
Hayes, I make a motion to approve the conditional uses as submitted, including the reference to the amendment to the Thekla address.
Second, Williams.
A motion and a second. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Russell,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the conditional uses are approved. Hearing number 130619-RH for 5791 Thekla. As I mentioned previously, once we have amended condition number 13 in the conditional uses to allow the window coverings, this property is no longer in violation. And so I would recommend to the board a motion of dismiss without prejudice would be in order.
I move to dismiss without prejudice. Gobi?
Russell, second.
Thank you. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Russell,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, dismissed without prejudice. I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. Are there any questions or comments on the meeting minutes as submitted? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve the minutes from last week's meeting. Russell?
Second, Coyle. Thank you. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Ooh, child, I'm gonna get it one day, y'all. It's just, I mean, all the education, no mute button. Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Russell,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the minutes are approved. Today's agenda, questions or comments on our BPS meeting agenda today?
This is Russell. I do have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
We began the meeting talking about bids at the airport. I assume that those are to be taken up at another time. What was the motion, or what was the purpose of that?
Which one are we talking about?
There was a bid for 18 million and another bid by Harper for 23 million.
There was a letting.
She's referring to the letting, President Bradley.
Okay.
I'm still not seeing which one. Can you enlighten me a little more? Please.
It's letting number 8756.
Oh, so.
She was talking about the two bids.
756, the letting. So
Yeah.
what happens is we have an apparent low bidder. And what will happen is after it is vetted out through all the compliance and reviews, a bid award will be recommended. And yes, it will come back to this board for approval.
Thank you. I haven't been in this meeting in a while, so I just wanted clarification.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Sorry it took me so long to try to figure out what I was saying there. So, okay, any further questions on our meeting agenda today? Seeing none, I will ask for a motion to approve, please.
So moved and unmuted Davis.
Second, Gobi?
Thank you. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Russell,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
and President Bradley.
Aye, today's agenda is approved. Before we adjourn, any questions or comments from any of our board directors? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
So
Motion
moved.
to adjourn. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. I don't miss that one now.
Meeting adjourned. Have a good day.